appreciative I am that you guys have seen this through with me, and here I am on the other side of the planet, giving a video presentation. And it's so important to me, and it's two levels. One was to follow through, and it was something that I started, and two, to be able to share our family's story, in hopes that it will help somebody else. Because when Marcus and our family was going through these episodes, it really took its toll on him, and the ramifications for the whole family, the implications for us, it was tough, it was stressful, and we didn't know what to do. So we kind of had to fly by the seat of our pants, figure out how to help him, and do what was best for him first and foremost. And that's not always easy to do, and there isn't anybody out there sometimes to help you do it. So you have to be sometimes willing to go it on your own. And here's what we came up with, and maybe it'll help somebody, and that would be great. Marcus had a number of situations in elementary school, in the first grade, second grade, fourth grade, and the fifth grade. And the most devastating was the situation in the first grade that was traumatic for him. That in itself was a chronic bullying situation where he experienced assaults and verbal abuse and emotional abuse by another child. And that set the pace for him until fifth grade. And it was hard for him to come out of his shell since then. And one of the things that I hope to be able to convey is that victims of any type of violence experience trauma, short and long-term trauma, and it's not something to be taken lightly, and it's not easy to address because you have to be able to communicate with your child, you have to be able to communicate with the school, you have to be able to communicate with each other, and there are so many layers in our value system and our cultural system that makes that difficult. And so I'm just going to try to stick to my bullet points and talk about how that lack of awareness, one of them is a lack of awareness. And while we all say, everybody agrees we don't want this to happen, it happens, and yet it's not recognized for what it is, and so it can't be dealt with effectively. And that was the major obstacle that we faced, was knowledge about what normal conflict looks like and what it doesn't look like, and what repeated behavior and inequity looks like in an abuse situation. And victims of abuse, whether they're your kids, domestic, whether they're any form, has a long-term effect. And what is seen is that kids who are victims of chronic bullying over the years have a much higher rate of depression, anxiety, and suicide. And that was something that scared me and really caused me to take a stand. I looked into the future, and I was very afraid for my child. And our first goal was to get the bullying to stop, and each time. By the time we hit fifth grade, we had a little bit more help, but we did muddle through some of these early events kind of on our own. And what we saw over the years was an increasing feeling of powerlessness and sadness and fear, and a feeling of anxiety and alienation, and where situations that were non-conflict triggered reactions and push buttons so we recognized that this was happening and realized that we really had to do something. And we were ineffective in creating a situation in the schools where we could work together. And so we need to focus at home. And that's where our perspective comes from. And that's what we want to give today is how we worked at home and on our end of things. So what we've done at home is just using language every day, language. And our big catchphrase is empower. That's what we do. That's what we believe in. That's what we have done. That's what we're still doing. It's a work in progress. We work on social assertiveness, even in mundane situations. He talks for himself. He speaks up for himself. And there are times when we speak for our kids. Somebody asks them a question, we answer. We don't do that. They have to answer for themselves. It seems like so simple, but often we usurp our kids in life, and we don't give them the chance to speak for themselves. And this is what happens in situations where they become victims of bullies. These bullies usurp them in their personalities. They take away their abilities to have control over their lives. These kids feel helpless. They feel powerless. They feel alone and very low self-worth, which drives social assertiveness further down. And it's very hard to come back from that. So we work on social assertiveness. We do that by creating situations where we have safe social circles. Fridays is open house at our house. We did Cub Scouts when he was in elementary school. We let the kids have parties at the house. We know it's going to be safe. We have friends come over. And that way, everybody can practice their social skills. And really that's what it's all about. Some kids are really strong in this area and some kids aren't. And fostering that is a key because as kids grow older, that's going to become important in professional life. So we help develop friendship circles. We help develop social assertiveness. We work on verbal skills, even though he had an IEP for speech disorder for years. We still work on verbal skills. We still work on getting him to articulate what it is he's thinking, what it is he's feeling. And because he had an IEP and we practiced speech every day, we had a pre-designated time where we communicated, where I could ask him about his day. And it was during this time that we frequently learned about many of these episodes. And I'm very, very thankful. That was a double-edged sword because many times parents are caught unaware that kids are experiencing these problems at school. They don't tell. And life just gets away from us. And before you know it, you're in a situation where your kid is going down a slippery slope. And so daily conversation, enroll in safe social organizations. We continue to work on verbal skills. We let him know, we empower him, we let him know this